We would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today and pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging. G'day, I'm Shell.
Kia ora, I'm Lou.
And welcome to the Xena Warrior Nutballs.
We have got an absolute live wire of a Kiwi for you today. Doug Kamo, he is just a cracker. He is so funny.
What a legend of a Kiwi, hey?
He's so excellent. He is in some of the best episodes of all time in the Xenaverse. Oh,
yeah, so good. He's in my favourite episode, which is One Against an Army.
And he's in my favourite episode, Amphipolis Under Siege. And we get to talk about both of these.
I know.
Incredible episodes in such great detail. He has such cool memories and such cool anecdotes of working with both Lucy and Renee.
And a very, very funny, lovely, warm bloke.
I don't even know how to describe him. Like, he's just such a live wire, isn't he?
And such funny stories about starting as an actor, not really knowing what he was doing on set.
Yeah.
Such a humble guy to admit that, too. Just going, he's a total rookie. He's like, shit, I've just got onto like one of the biggest shows in New Zealand. And I loved hearing, it's very...
If not the world,
Such a sought after gig. And he continued to work on Xena. Like it was more than one role.
Yeah, he gets some great roles and he really captures that like excitement of the time in the 90s for people around New Zealand that wanted to get into it. They just like saw this incredible opportunity and they like grabbed the bull by the horns and moved to Auckland and gave it a crack, and he was really successful in being able to do that.
Yeah.
And forever etched into our minds in some of these really cool episodes.
Yeah, and I feel like he's the perfect example of
like the just slapping a wig or a moustache on and like bringing them back in vibe.
Yeah, he's like the typical Kiwi actor that they did that to, you know. We kept on seeing Doug through so many different roles. And just that Kiwi energy that he has.
100%.
So much of what Xena is.
Yeah, so if you've got a keen eye, you'll see him in 4 episodes of Xena Warrior Princess. He started out with his first casting in The Execution, season 2, episode 17 as Sullus.
Yep.
That's the one with like Maliga the Mighty, right?
Yeah, that's right. And all the he talks about the horse stuff. Look, stay tuned, it's very funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
He was in season 3, episode 13.
Yeah, One Against an Army. Best bloody episode ever. One of.
No, for sure. It's an excellent episode. Then he's in season 5, episode 14, Amphipolis Under Siege, where he plays a border guard.
Yes.
Has an interaction with one of my favourite actresses, Musetta Vanda.
Yeah, that's a great episode.
Excellent. And he plays the brother in If the Shoe Fits, season 4, episode 12, that wacky as fairy tale Cinderella story.
Ridiculous. Hilarious. What fun roles he played, like for an actor. What a fun gig, man. It'd be so fun. And then rocking up on this full-on fantasy style set with the whole American vibe and Kiwis everywhere and Aussies everywhere and just hard work.
Yeah. Now, let's stop rambling, hey? Let's get into it.
Alrighty. Please welcome multiple character actor of our Xenaverse, Doug Kamo.
Kia ora, guys. How are you?
Good, mate. Kia ora.
G'day.
Kia ora. Oh, g'day. G'day from the Aussie and a kia ora from the Kiwi. I love it. That's perfect. Yeah. Lovely to be here, and thank you for asking. And it's weird. It's just a bit weird, guys. It's just a bit weird.
Bit of a blast from the past.
It just feels like it was another whole lifetime ago for me. You know, it feels like it was like literally another... Well, it was 30 years ago, wasn't it? It's a long time ago.
Would you be able to take us back, Doug, and tell us, how were you cast on Xena Warrior Princess?
Oh, gosh. I think my first episode was in 97, and I had just freshly moved from my little hometown of Nelson in New Zealand here in the South Island to Auckland to go and chase the dream as an actor. I'm actually a fitter turner and engineer by trade, and I was working at the Alliance Meatworks in Richmond, Nelson at the time as a fitter turner.
No way!
And I'd been doing theatre for about a couple of years by that stage, and I said to my mates, I'm going to go to Auckland and become a star. What a stupid thing to say that was. And my mates were going, what are you doing that for? That's like, what are you doing that for? You got a great job. Well, don't go try and be an actor. I reckon that if I go to Auckland now, I reckon that in 12 months I'll either have a guest lead role on Shortland Street or have a guest lead role on Xena.
Cool.
And I got to Auckland, and I was lucky enough that I was picked up by my agent, Kathy Rawlings, within sort of a couple of months. And she got me this audition for my first episode, and I went in terrified into this audition and found out a couple of days later that I got the guest lead role in my first episode of Xena. And so that's that was the execution, which was, I played the role of Sullus in the execution. And so that's a really quick sort of snapshot of sort of how that came about. But it was literally off me saying to my mates, hey, I'm going to go to Auckland and I'm going to be on either Shortland Street or Xena within 12 months. And I think I did it within 7 or something.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
I love
amazing.
it.
No, you ticked both those goals off, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did, yeah. It was a scary time.
Do you remember who was on the panel, your audition panel? Was Chloe Smith in there?
Oh, gosh, honestly, I couldn't tell you that, Lou. I wouldn't remember anything, to be perfectly honest, because I was so terrified. I was literally terrified of the whole thing. Like, do an American accent, Doug. Forget it. Like, at the time, us Kiwis, there was no dialect coach, there was no accent coaches. We just kind of did our best. Did it. Went through 4 continents to get to America before we could actually do an accent, So,
was there a bit of a buzz around you being cast? Like, did you tell your family and friends once you knew, or were you not allowed to tell them? Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, God, hell yeah. This is amazing. So I shouted it from the rooftop because I ticked the box in terms of what I wanted to achieve. Yeah. And I'd shut all my mates up. Yeah, she did it, Doug.
It's so cool to hear your level of excitement and passion. What did it mean for you as a Kiwi to be cast in this show, in Xena Warrior Princess, and get to have it filmed on your home country as well?
For me, we're talking... This first episode was right at the start, right at the infancy of my career. And so when I knew that I was going to be standing next to people like Lucy and Renee and, it was sensory overload, but there was an awful lot of imposter syndrome that crept in. What am I doing here? You're just a little boy from Nelson who comes from a musical theatre background. I had a strong history of musical theatre, but nothing in that. So that was big. And the fact that we were doing it in our home country, that there was this, not a mini Hollywood, it was a big deal at mid-90s. It was so exciting for our industry that this incredible production had landed on our shores and it was staying for a long time. And it generated so much work, not just for actors, but everyone. Yeah. And you look at some of the people that work on Xena have gone on to win
big deal.
Oscars and all sorts of things. Yeah. So it was a big deal, but it felt like that on set. It just felt like we were this big whānau, this big family of Kiwis and Aussies that were working, just doing the best we could because we'd had nothing like it before. So we were just, let's make it up and make it good, And I think that was the magic. That was a big part of the magic.
Yeah. What a great answer. So what was it like? Did you get much rehearsal time with Lucy Lawless and Renee O'Connor, or did you just get chucked in the deep end with them?
No, yeah.
The second one.
Yeah. Well, I remember, and if I go back to my first episode of The Execution, I remember a couple of things. I remember going to the read-through, and I was petrified walking into this read-through. It was, I can't remember which hotel it was at, but it was on the top floor of this hotel, and we walked in, and there was fruit platters everywhere, and everyone was around. There's Rob, and then there's Lucy and Renee, and these little old Doug Kamo, and I sat down at the seat opposite Lucy. We were sharing the corner of the desk, Lucy and I, and she'd just come back from shooting an episode. They were running a bit late, and she grabbed a whole lot of fruit and sat down, and she bit into this piece of pineapple. And the juice from the pineapple went straight up and into my right eye. And I remember sitting there and going, and I remember going, I can't say anything. I can't go, you just squirted pineapple in my eye. I don't even know this person, but you're Lucy Lawless. Shut up, Doug. So I sat there, my eye, she spat in my eye. Yeah, it was... not good, eh? Because you know what it's like when something goes wrong, you think everyone's looking at you, and so my eyes started watering.
Yes.
And we're in the middle of a part of the script where a fight scene, and everyone's probably looking at me going, what's he bawling his eyes out for? But I wasn't. I said pineapple juice in my eye, and it was stinging. But anyway.
I love that story.
That was my introduction to Lucy. And then the next time I saw her was on set, which just blew my mind when I walked on set.
Wow.
And I sat down on set, and we're shooting the noose scene going into this again for the execution. And Lucy came and sat down next to me, and I remember her pulling out some photos and going, "Oh, hi Doug, how are you?" Like, I'd known her for years. Like, that's just Lucy for you. She was just such a beautiful soul. She was
cool
just
chick.
like the chick next door. She could just talk to anyone. She sat down. She goes, "Oh, hey Doug, hey, I want to show you something." I'm like, okay. You know,
wow.
And she pulled out this photo, this enormous billboard in Times Square of her. And she goes, "Isn't that mental?" I was like, "That's great." She goes, "I'm just a little Kiwi chick." And like, look, I'm on the side of this billboard. So anyway, my point being inside that is that I didn't get time to rehearse with her a great deal, but I did get time to actually just engage with her. And for any actor, that's what you need. The script and everything gives you the pathway of what you're going to perform. But if you can get that time to connect, then the script and everything else will come together a lot better. So not a lot of time rehearsing.
That would have been really intimidating, but also magic to have Lucy. And we're hearing that as like a theme, aren't we? Like, people are saying
consistently across the board
that Lucy's just a top chick. She just makes everybody feel comfortable, and she's really friendly. She's a girl next door. She's really loving. She's all
of that. Incredible, eh? Probably what I remember of Lucy more than anything else, and I'll never ever forget this of her. It was just so kind. We were doing a scene where we needed to ride. The posse was riding up to the noose. I needed to ride my horse up to the noose. I remember my agent going, "Hey, you need to go out to Kumeu and do a riding assessment. They need to see how good you are at riding." And I was like, I put on like all good actors do. I'm a gun rider. Don't you worry about that. I'm excellent. I'm an amazing rider. And so out I went to this riding, and all he said was, "Look, jump on Sophie," or whatever the horse's name was, and just walk it around that barrel, which I did. And he says, "You'll be sweet." When I turned up on set, I remember Garth Maxwell was the director of the execution, and he goes, "Now, Doug, hey, listen, we've got the dolly lined up. It's about a 20-metre run to the noose. All the wranglers, all your posse and everything are down around behind those bushes. Just go onto your horse, gallop up to the noose, and stop, look at the noose and go that way, and we'll cut and we'll get another shot of you riding out." And I went, hang on, I'm galloping. Did I hear you say galloping? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, again, my first ever episode, I can't say I can't ride a horse. That's just stupid. Yeah. So I went down and I climbed onto this horse, Psycho Sophie or whatever the name of the horse was. And I remember one of the wranglers was on his horse next to me. He goes, "You're right." And I went, "No, not really." He's like, "What's wrong?" I can walk a horse around a barrel, but I can't gallop a horse up to a noose. That's not going to happen. He's like, "Well, we'll just wrap around you and the horse will go with us and it will stop with us." That didn't happen. We took off. They called action, and like 5-6 horses, we bolted, and they stopped, and my horse just kept going. And I remember Garth going, "Cut!" The whole crew laughing their heads off, and they ended up building a whole lot of boxes up for me to walk on with reins to make it look like I'd arrived at the noose. Lucy saw that, and she went, "This guy's a rookie, man. He's such a rookie." And so she took me under her wing, and she said, "Tomorrow morning I'll come in half an hour earlier, come to my trailer, and we'll run lines, and we'll go through some stuff. I'll teach you a little bit about camera left, camera right." She was just a godsend, and I'll never forget that. It was just, she really took me under her wing and guided me through that first episode. I'll always be very grateful to Lucy for that. She was amazing.
That's incredible. That is the lead of a huge show that is worldwide, said, "I'll come in half an hour early and run some lines with your mate and help you out."
Yeah, that's so cool. Actually, I was hoping to ask you, so we've talked about the execution, a great episode, a fair bit. This is a bit of a niche-y, silly question, just because I love my specifics in the show. Your character, he's like a bit of an assassin, right? He takes it on himself to try to kill Xena because she doesn't come in for the hanging. So he's got this really famous moment where he shoots one arrow, Xena catches it in one hand, shoots a second arrow. Xena takes it in the other hand. No, what's she going to do? You shoot a third one. How the hell is she going to stop this one? She catches it in her fucking teeth because she's a goddamn legend.
Yeah.
Were you like on set for that? Were you watching her do that, then putting the arrows in her mouth? What was that?
I remember being fascinated about how Donnie, who was our DOP on it, director of photography, how the camera techniques that they were using for that stuff, because I can't remember what the actual terminology was, but it was like a whiplash camera shot or something that they used. And I could never understand how that would work until I saw the episode later. Yeah, I remember when Lucy did the two-hand, I just remembered her putting the arrow in her teeth and Donnie doing this whiplash with the camera and them having a couple of giggles at they probably did a couple of takes if I remember rightly, but it was probably something she hadn't done it in teeth before. I don't think it was a technique that they'd used a lot, so they got through that pretty quickly.
So cool to hear the interweaving of like Donnie Duncan, because he is such an expert in his field, and I just love to like elevate him more and more in the zeitgeist of New Zealand knowledge about who he is and what he's done. Like so much for cinema.
Yeah.
A lot of the success of Xena can sort of fall into his lap in a lot of ways, I would imagine. His eye and his skill at that particular time was just world class, and we were lucky that we had him for Xena.
Yeah,
New Zealand, so that was great.
So I really want to ask you about your time on set in season 3, episode 13, One Against an Army. This episode is considered one of the fan favourite best episodes of all time. It's actually my favourite episode, so this is very exciting for me. Yeah. Yep.
What? Why? Can you tell me why?
It has the most badass fight scene ever. Yeah. It's so cool. It's just everything about it. It's just epic. And the beautiful scenes between Xena and Gabrielle as well. So, but that comes later. That's It was the fighting and the killing and the rah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you played Dorian, the deceptive Persian dressed as a Spartan. What are some of your favourite memories, Doug, of being in that episode?
I didn't actually quite realise when I auditioned for it how much Dorian, or just how much he kind of drove the plot line around what was happening. I had no clue around that at all. Because when you audition, you don't get the script. You get a slice of the script and that's all you get. So you don't really get a hold on the role at all. And so when I got cast into that, and then when I finally got the script and read it, I went, actually, this is quite a significant role to sink my teeth into. And so by this stage, I had done 2 episodes prior. So I had an understanding of how the franchise worked and what was happening in terms of where the franchise was heading around the relationship with Xena and Gabrielle. So we kind of understood that a little. And so for me, it was significant getting that role, but it wasn't significant when I auditioned. It wasn't until after I'd read the script that I went, okay, all right.
Yeah, very cool.
Can I ask you a little bit about then specifically, because you've kind of like alluded to it. So Dorian's character, he causes Gabrielle's character to get shot with a poisoned arrow, and we kind of it's all veiled what he's doing. We're all confused about what's going on. You get to be in probably one of the most like iconic subtexty scenes, loitering in the background of it, assisting in this What was it like being in that scene? So this is a scene where Xena's cauterizing Gabrielle's like arrow wound. It's just very intimate. It's very emotional. Like Renee O'Connor's acting her fucking heart out. She's like screaming and crying. It's intense. And you were right there part of it. What was it like?
Yeah.
I felt like a wanker, eh? Like I actually felt like a complete, like I was like, what a prick of a character you are. You're a horrible man. I remember feeling, I knew what that scene meant beyond just the cauterizing of that wound. There was a lot more subtext going on than just the outward physical understanding of trying to draw the poison and what it is. There was a lot more going on in that scene. I remember going into that scene and they had locked the set down quite a bit for that particular scene. We rehearsed it up, and we rehearsed it as in lines and placements, but then they locked the set down and they had the beer crew in there at that stage for us to do that. And so I just remembered the sense of genuinely feeling scared and concerned, and I think I needed to play it that way, but I also felt it that way. Otherwise, there was a real danger of giving too much away before we needed to be giving too much away. I remember that scene, and I do remember it being it was just a lovely moment, just kind of pulled it all back down again to allow us to go boom again at the tail end of it. Yeah, it was really lovely.
And Doug, what was it like working with Renee O'Connor?
Awesome. She was a little pocket rocket. She was a little pocket rocket. I mean, I didn't have as many scenes with Renee through all of my episodes. I had most of my scenes set with Lucy. I would often sit down with Renee and Lucy and have lunch, or the enormous lunches that I miss those, the enormous lunches that they'd have on set and all those sorts of things. You go in there looking great and you come out there looking like the whale.
Beach days, bro.
Even too much. Yeah, she was a cool chick. She was a little pocket rocket,
Yeah, awesome. And you had a few fight scenes as well. What was it like working with stunties? Did you ever work with Zoe Bell at all?
I can't remember if I actually did. Something in my head says that the fight scene, Xena and Gabrielle come across me and I jump off the cliff and down in front of them and she over the top of me and down the other side. And that fight scene, I can't remember whether that was Zoe or not, but I certainly remember seeing Zoe on set for 2 or 3 of those episodes. But Lucy had sometimes had a couple of different stunties come in if Zoe wasn't available. So I can't quite remember. What I do remember is that it was very unusual for 2 actors to fight opposite each other. If they needed a close-up shot of the 2 actors doing that, then they would put them together. But often it would be from my point of view or from Xena's point of view, and it would normally be the stunty that with their back to camera. So just in case we get a stray sword going in the wrong direction and there's an injury or something. So we can get to do a lot opposite each other. But the fight scenes were so much fun. I mean, I have a dance background, and so to me it was the choreography of that was just beautiful. Peter Bell was the stunt coordinator on a lot of the episodes. He was a legend. He's a legend. And some of the fight scenes all the fight scenes he choreographed, but in particular the stunties that they got to do them were just out of this world.
That's so
I remember the loft scene again in One Against an Army. Your listeners want to go back to this particular piece. There's a moment where Lucy's up on the loft and she stabs or she cuts one of the stunties and he does a flip off and lands down on a cart that's down the bottom. Well, the stunty that ends up in that episode was not the original stunty that did it, because the first stunty that did it snapped his leg when he did a particular scene.
No.
They locked down the set after that happened and sort of wheeled him out and then rehearsed another guy into that scene. So, and I remember being on set when it happened. Those stunties go through a lot, man, to give us some entertainment. They are amazing at what they do.
And especially in the 90s, like it was a whole different sort of set. Yeah, I don't think you'd have your lead actress breathing fire now. There's no bloody way.
No.
They cracked down on it at the time, didn't they? Like they stopped her by like the 2000s. Yeah. It was all CGI after a bit.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why didn't you know that, Shell?
My heart is breaking.
You just broke her heart there, Lou.
Sorry, that was really... On that track, though, of what we were just talking about, you mentioned just before Peter Bell, the stunt coordinator for the show. In One Against an Army, Renee O'Connor actually does a shout-out to Peter Bell. I don't know if you knew this. Because he apparently, and I wonder whether you can speak to this, Peter Bell always used little Lego men or something to demonstrate what you should do. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
So she created, that was in the show, like canon in the show, she created like a little stick man, which she showed to...
He did too.
Yeah, to demonstrate like how she was trying to learn Xena's flip. Did you ever get Peter Bell's Lego people demonstrated to you as to how to fight?
I remember seeing this. I'm not sure it was in that episode, but I remember seeing this. I remember he would gather all the stunties and talk them through it, and he was always on the ground with little things moving them around. I remember that. But I don't think we were privy to a lot of that, because what we end up with is my stuntie would teach me the routine rather than Peter teaching me the routine, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I remember that, and I did not know that was the connection to the little doll. That's wicked. That is awesome.
Okay, I'm thrilled to ask you this question, Doug. So Shell's gone to ask about her favourite episode, and I get to ask about mine. You played Border Guard in my favourite episode of all time, Amphipolis Under Siege, Season 5, Episode 14. What was your experience on that episode like?
Do you know what? I think that was the last episode I shot of Xena. Because that, as you said, it came out in 2000, didn't it? So that was my last episode. And I had completely forgotten that I did it. Isn't that bizarre? That is honestly, age is a killer, isn't it? It's so hard, isn't it? So what I did was I had a wee cheeky look online again and remembered it immediately. Yes, I remember doing this. This was crazy. It was a tiny role that I got. It was a fun role to play. He was a sleazy. I've just played really hot, like dicks. But he was a fun character to play, and I didn't actually realise who Musetta Vandal was at the time. I had just, it was 30 years ago, right?
Of course.
25 years ago. I just remembered when she came on set thinking she was striking, just beautifully striking. So that was, it was good fun. It was great to go back and, like I said at the start, this was like a whole lifetime ago for me. So I've had to go back and look at some of these things and kind of go, I actually was there at that time doing this stuff, and it was good fun. It was such good fun.
So the audience can visualize this episode. You're actually opening, you're in the pre-credit scene where Musetta Vandal kind of tumbles out of the forest dressed as a sexy Tin Man.
I don't think you wanted to set up the audience at all. I think you just wanted to say sexy Tin Man.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah. I just want to say sexy Tin Man.
I think that's what it was
you
about.
said it, and I'll never ever look at her like that again, other than the sexy Tin Man. Yeah. In fact, when I see the Wizard of Oz again, I'll just see the sexy Tin Man.
We thank you, Jane Holland, for your service, the costume designer in season 5 and 6. She's excellent. Part of that scene, you get shot with an arrow, and Xena applies the pinch to you. So you're amongst some of the elite few in the world that have had the pinch applied to them. Was there any particular, it was a healing pinch though, not a killing pinch. Was there any particular coaching or direction you were given in how to respond to that?
Not that I remember, no. I wish I had a really good answer. I'll make one up. Yeah, look, we went method on it. We went through a school of pinching, and no, not really. I just remember Lucy coming to me and going, I'm going to do the pinch on you. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? She said, I'll do the pinch thing. Yeah, oh, yeah, cool. Great. What happens there? She goes, you'll feel amazing once I do it. I went, let's do this thing. They rolled camera, and she sort of poked me in the collarbone and gave me another little twist, and I felt amazing.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. So no, I don't have anything like there was no secret to that. It was just all right, guys, let's roll. And away it went, and you knew what the outcome needed to be. That immediately you feel a little bit of relief, and away it goes. And it was like taking a couple of Voltaren and it working immediately. It was amazing.
Xena's ibuprofen.
Xena's ibuprofen.
So Kevin Smith as Ares arrived briefly at the end of the scene. Do you have any particular memories of working with the late, great Kevin Smith?
Yeah, bless Kevin. Kevin's circle was big. It was immense. And a couple of my very close friends up in Auckland were very, very close to Kevin. So I remember when we got on set, we had the opportunity to sort of chinwag about our common friends and our common links and the 1 degree of separation. And, it was a wonderful connection to be able to have. But when you saw Kevin, particularly when you saw Kevin in his character,
wow,
that he had this incredible star quality about him. You just looked at him and went, oh, if I rub shoulders with you, I might get a little bit of it. But he just oozed it. He was a good-looking man. He was a charming, kind person.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's those moments where we can keep him alive too, keep him alive in the Xenaverse.
Yeah, but also to our performing arts whānau as well throughout New Zealand. His legacy still lives on in lots of places around New Zealand, so he's not forgotten by any stretch.
So, Doug, this is one of my favourite questions to ask guests. Because if it was me, I tell you what. Did you keep anything from the sets?
Yeah, I stole Lucy's chakra.
Don't.
Got it. Hang on, stay there. I actually brought it in tonight. Wait there.
Are you kidding?
He can't be telling the truth.
Of course I'm bloody kidding. Of course I'm kidding. You should have seen your facial. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and literally, I was
so thrilled.
Okay. Could you imagine?
I was too holy to take anything, Brian. There's no way I was going to take anything. But what I do remember, one thing I do remember, and this goes back to, and this shows just how influential that first episode of the execution that I did was in terms of I guess my learnings coming from that and how influential Lucy was and how kind Lucy was through that entire episode. It was amazing. At the end of that particular episode, the execution, they had a wrap party at the end of it. It was just on set, so we finished filming for the day and they put some drinks on, some bits and pieces, and we had a bit of a wrap on that. I remember Lucy getting up and going, "Hey, I just want to say a couple of words." She said, we had a young fella on the set with us for this episode, and it was we know that it was I know it was a massive learning curve for him, and so I can't remember what she said, but I just remembered sitting there feeling both embarrassed and just really chuffed at the same time with her kindness. And what she did was is she had gone through all the rushes. So for those that don't know what the rushes are the little outtakes or video outtakes that they film. And so she'd gone through the rushes with Garth, and she'd pulled down a whole lot of my rushes and had put them onto a VHS tape at that time.
Wow.
There was no DVDs or you know, cards, whatever it is. So she put it onto a VHS and she gave me that with I've still got it. I should have bought that, a beautiful framed photo of her, and she'd written onto it, "Star forever, Doug, keep going." Great stuff, or something along those lines. And I remember her taking the time across that episode, like I said earlier, to take me under her wing and teach me some things because I was so green. And then at the end, 7 days later after the shoot, thought that it would be a nice thing to do. So that just showed the kindness and I guess the character of who Lucy Lawless is. You know, she was just so kind. And so that's the only thing I got from all my time on Xena. But do you know what? I wouldn't trade that for any piece of memorabilia or anything at all.
Yeah, you don't really need anything from set once you get that, especially as a young actor.
Absolutely
like that just sets you up for the rest of your life, really. That is so special.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Goodness. I'm interested to know. So you did say earlier during One Against an Army that you were kind of aware of this, or the subtext was like, it was known to a point amongst the actors. Did it ever inform any of your decision-making as an actor in any of the scenes with Lucy and Renee?
Other than One Against an Army, probably not. A lot of my scenes were either isolated away from them in terms of they were filmed not necessarily even with them around. But we knew the trajectory, and I certainly didn't know that in the first couple of episodes. But when I got into One Against an Army, I was like, I can really understand what's happening here. And it was at a time where, you know, I think back to the 90s, it was blimmin' tough. Now the LGBTQ community, it was so hard at that time. They were the first to kind of, to my knowledge, allude that it's okay. And they were such a beacon of hope for that community. And so we knew what was happening at that time. And it was really cool to watch it unfold, to be a part of that, you know.
Oh, thanks for that, Doug.
Yeah, we love to hear it, man. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to ask, though, what's your local secret you tell people to do when they visit you in Aotearoa, New Zealand?
Oh, gosh. They're massive, massive fans of Xena. You've got to go out to the Lion Park and see where we used to shoot out in the Lion Park. There's not a lot there now, of course, but that was such a mini Hollywood. I know that, like, diehard fans love to go and look at different scenery and different parts, you know, different shoot locations, those sorts of things of where certain things are, and match them back to an episode or whatever. So, and Auckland was such a massive part of that. There's so many fantastic shoot locations down in our part of the world here through Central Otago, through, you know, and I'm talking whether you're a Lord of the Rings fan or whether you're, you know, whatever it is, there's so many beautiful shoot locations down here we have. So I'm always going to be loyal to this part of the world and say, fly into Dunedin, come and spend some time here with us, and then your trip through the lower half of the South Island, and to me is home to me. That's absolute home.
T.Y. Pernamu seems to be just raking in the votes at the moment, and I love it. Go, go, go. Doug, we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't ask you, as we're asking everyone as well, what's your thoughts on a reboot, a revival, or let Xena lie? There's been murmurs for years, but there's getting slowly louder murmurs.
Only if they use all of us oldies in it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'm there.
And that's not going to happen, is it? That's definitely not going to happen.
It could. Hey, it could. You never know.
Look, I'm never a big fan of revivals, and because I often feel that we had something very, very special at that particular time. I don't think we could ever recreate what took place here in New Zealand back in, you know, from the mid-90s to the early 2000s. We had such a can-do attitude between the Kiwis and Aussies. You know, I'm not talking to act, I'm talking everyone was just so invested in it. Such fond memories of the crew and of this team environment, the warmth and the kindness and the sense of let's get shit done, guys, and we can't do it that way, so let's find a way to do it that way. There was a real can-do attitude, and I think that was a big part of the magic of what made Xena part of its success. So, it's got such a cult following. It'll be like rewriting the Rocky Horror Show. It's perfect just the way it is, and
it still stands. Yeah,
still stands. It works, and it works beautifully. So. Yeah,
I'm just keen for anything, and I just want more content. And while Lucy's alive, just slap that leather back on her and get her back out there.
Yeah, that is one of the most wonderful things you've ever said, Lou. While Lucy is alive, slap that leather on her. Next question. Okay, great. So, Doug, what are you working on at the moment?
Well, my life's taken quite a different trajectory to what was taking place in the mid-90s. I'm still very much in the entertainment game. I've been in the entertainment game now for 30 years, and my focus has always been around my musical theatre. I have a company that I started actually up in Auckland in 1997, and which focused on corporate entertainment, building live corporate entertainment. And so that's gone from strength to strength to strength. We do around 50 major corporate events a year, providing all the entertainment and production to that. So I do all the creative on that side. I'd spend a large chunk of my year as a professional MC between Australia and New Zealand now. Hey. I entered the industry in the early 90s. And I know you're going, how can that be possible, Doug? Because you're only 27 now. And
exactly what I was thinking.
I get a lot as well.
I came into the performing arts scene at a time when our country was really alive and electric with work. I remember in the early 90s, 3 or 4 professional theatre companies touring through New Zealand with major musicals. And so I was very fortunate that I started my career at a time where it's allowed my trajectory to continue. It's a tough old game, but I've been very, very, very fortunate, very blessed that I've been able to stay in the industry and continue to do what I do. And I make a wonderful, wonderful living doing something that never, ever, ever feels like work.
Yeah, wonderful.
Good on you, mate.
Thank you so much, Doug, for being a part of this. It's so engaging and interesting, and all those stories about Lucy and stuff on set and being a young actor, and very cool, man. Thank you so much for joining us. We've loved it.
I return the compliment. When you reached out, it was just a really odd thing, because like I said earlier in the interview, it was such a different part of my it felt like a lifetime ago. But what it has forced me to do is to go back and look at that. I don't tend to live back there. I like to think about right now, what I'm doing right now,
of course.
and a little bit in the future. But it was really lovely to sort of take a walk down memory lane with you both and sort of just remind myself of a time when I was at the infancy of my career, and I had some incredible people wrap around me to give me a hand and to maybe lessen my anxiety and my imposter syndrome around that I was actually going to be okay doing this. Yeah. So thank you for reaching out and allowing me to be a part of it. And it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you both. So thank you.
Something that has come to my mind through this whole conversation is, even when we're talking about the reboot and stuff, about how important everything was and how it kind of all just fitted together and it all came together and was right. But there were so many elements of that had to happen, and you were one of those threads, Doug, and I think you were an incredibly important one of those threads. And I loved hearing all those beautiful stories about Lucy Lawless and how supportive she was of you. But it's this podcast, while it is also 100% about her, and we'd love to talk to her, it's about the cast and crew like you that were kind of on there and contributed hugely to these episodes that end up being some of the fan favorites. And I just wanted to say thank you. As much as you were talking about the whānau that you were part of, you made up that whānau very significantly. So I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your time with us. Yeah. Appreciate your time so much, mate. And just all the best for the future.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, team.
Well, he referred to Renee O'Connor as a pocket rocket. I think he's a bit of a firecracker.
He really is.
He really is.
What a fun dude. Such a fun interview.
And he's got the funniest stories, the best anecdotes. He's excellent.
Yeah. He's so cool. And he's the perfect representation of all those Kiwi actors that would have reoccurring roles, but not within the same role.
Yes.
That made Xena what it is. Like, he's the perfect guy because he just floats along all these bloody excellent episodes.
He does.
Like, what a cool career.
So cool, hey?
Like, what a cool Xena career, you know, to just be in all those very amazing episodes.
Exactly. And to just, like, help elevate them to that next level. He does really, you're absolutely right. He represents, like, in part of it, it's like part of the campiness of the show that we love so much, that we do get to see these reoccurring similar faces but with a different moustache or a different hat or a different whatever have you on. But it is also really like a reflection of his talent that he kept consistently getting cast in these really like high stakes, really important episodes.
Yeah, and I like how he jokes about being cast as always the dick, you know, like the shithead character.
Yes, no, he did. I imagine, look, if Xena was to be rebooted, there would likely be some evolution in these characters that we would see in the show.
Yes, I think we've come a long way since then.
But I also think that there was an importance of them in the 90s because they represented like that opposition to our feminist icon, our feminist leader. Xena. Like, she needed that like push and pull.
Totally.
In certain moments. Yeah,
that contrast of characters.
He really does play some outstanding characters. Something that I really wanted to hook into, which made me laugh so hard as a Kiwi, was when he was like, we would try to go through a bunch of different accents to eventually land where we needed to, and there was no dialect coach, no accent coach in New Zealand at the time. And I just wanted to say that hearing the Kiwi accent occasionally drip in and drip out of this show is like literally probably the main reason I watch it. It is.
It's so good.
It is so good.
I love that he was like, yeah, I can just ride a horse. And it just rode off into the distance. And Garth Maxwell's like, what the fuck? He's just so cash about it. He's like, oh yeah, of course I can ride a horse. Of course I can jump off a cliff. Of course I can ride a motorbike. You just, you know, say yes. And figure it out later. I just love that. I think that's a real Kiwi Aussie thing. Of course we can, mate. We'll give it a go.
Just give it a crack, eh? She'll be right.
She'll be right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I love that about him, and I love that Garth they were able to build that little cardboard box, and then that Lucy was able to give him a bit of a hand later on. That was really cool. That was a very wholesome story.
Yeah.
I just cannot fathom how many ridiculously lovely, generous stories we're getting about this human being.
I know.
Yeah, it's just indicative of the time and the whānau of it all, yeah?
Yeah, it was definitely just a Kiwi set, hey?
Yeah, working together.
Yeah, as a village.
Mate, one thing that literally almost made me pee my pants was when he talked about Lucy Lawless accidentally chewing on some pineapple and some of it squirting into his eye.
Yeah, and she never knew.
No, still to this day, I imagine will not know.
She probably doesn't know. She's gonna be like, shit, did I?
Everybody's been in that situation where you're at a restaurant.
Yes.
Something's flicked off somebody's fork or something's, you know, whatever. You know, there's been like what would you say, an indiscretion, a social transgression that not everyone's necessarily aware of, and it's like food related, and you've just got to power through it.
You do, but could you imagine that happening and it's Lucy Lawless? Like, that's a real kick in the ass from the universe. Of all things to happen, it's Lucy Lawless.
It is really. You just got to blink through it.
Just blink through it, man. Blink through it. You just got to blink through it. That's so fucking funny. Just keep blinking. Whew. That was classic.
And that really got you in the middle, hey?
Got me straight in the eye.
Actually, one thing I did want to us to revisit, Chow, because I know it's your favourite, or one of your favourites, is him being in One Against an Army, Yeah,
I know. I just loved his story about it being a closed set. And it became really sort of just bringing it all back together and really subtle and close. Like, imagine being present in that moment. Like the iconic Xena subtext moment.
Exactly. They're like... Oh,
yeah.
The amount of fan fiction that this episode just spiraled off into the world. I've consumed a lot of it. It's the pinnacle of like hurt comfort, right? Like they've just dragged our characters through some of the hardest of the hards, the rift, and then they've put them into that like really cute but really scary hurt comfort mode where one of them's wounded and one of them's caring for the other one with her sweaty brow, and it's just
I know, and the vulnerability from Xena.
I know.
The real fear of losing Gabrielle.
Yeah, it's one of the few times that you see like how scared Xena Warrior Princess can be. She's not a god. She's not immortal, and she's really scared of losing her little soulmate.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's an excellent episode. Yeah. I cannot talk about it enough. It's stunning.
Yeah, it's just so cool to be speaking to Doug, that he was there in that. That's just...
Yeah. Right in amongst it.
Man.
He's like the one causing all the hurt comfort for us. Thank you.
And talk about the stunty that broke his leg and they had to redo the whole scene and how he was there and far out.
That fight scene is phenomenal. Like,
I think it's the best. For me personally, I think it's the best fight scene in the whole series of Xena. It's up there, right?
There's not one that comes off the top of my head that competes with it on that level, you know? Like, it's so good. Actually, okay, wait, quickly. He did mention a New Zealand legend that's nothing to do with the Xenaverse, but I'm just going to say his name really quickly. He mentioned the Rocky Horror Picture Show. My loves, did you know the person that wrote Rocky Horror Picture Show, his name is Richard O'Brien. He is a Kiwi.
Was he? I didn't know he was a Kiwi.
He is, from Hamilton in the North Island.
Wow, great.
And that's honestly all. Let's do the Time Warp again.
It's a jump to the left.
And a step to the right.
Oh, and how much is the South Island, your home? Actually, we should mention to our international listeners that New Zealand is made up of 2 islands, right? You've got North and South.
Made up of a lot of islands, but the main 2 islands are North Island and South Island.
North Island and South Island. And Xena is filmed in the North, and you're from the South.
I'm from the South. That's right.
All of our guests, thank you, I've been listening, and all of our guests are saying, go to the South Island.
They are saying to come down to the South Island. And in the interview just now, I actually said Te Waipounamu, which is the Te Reo Māori name for the South Island.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, Pounamu is like jade nephrite, like greenstone.
Oh.
So you can only find jade in New Zealand in the South Island. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you see like Lucy and Renee, they wear these.
Yeah. They're beautiful like tokies. They're beautiful like necklaces. Yeah. Or different styles have different words, but I think I see Renee wear a lot of toki style. Yeah.
Cool. And I didn't know that's only from the South Island.
Yeah. And so the whole island is like, and its te reo name is named after it, which is really cool.
Beautiful. What a beautiful country.
We're lucky. We're very, very lucky.
Yeah, you guys are. You definitely are.
Well, hey, I reckon we've just about wrapped this one up, yeah?
Yeah, so guys, don't forget to follow us on all the social platforms out there, like Facebook and Instagram. You can send us an email at xenawarriornutballs@gmail.com. You can find us on all the listening platforms.
You can.
Spotify, Podbean. Hey, also visit our website. Send us a scroll at xenawarriornutballs.com. I think that's it.
Yeah, man. Ka kite ono, everyone. See you again soon.
Battle on, Xenites.
Oh, God. This interview's made me want to get some pineapple.
Yeah, stick it in my eye.